Today's goal was to create now and improve tomorrow. Okay, so today I decided to do things a little bit differently, and that's why I have this little book right here, and it's like a journal basically, and I put all my thoughts and ideas here, and right now I'm just basically brainstorming on what I want to draw today. I want to have something that's like shiny, maybe bug-like, and I'm even thinking of kind of expanding to more like a fantasy kind of realm. Because lately I've been a bit stuck with, like, as you know, art block and all the art stuff, so I feel like I have the ability to change, so this could be some good stuff that I could just use and change and twist how I like. So basically I'm gonna try to do things like slightly different, a bit more in-depth and a bit more professional, if you could say that. So yeah, let's see. But this will be my book of ideas. I guess that's a nice name. Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to this cozy side of YouTube. If you're new here, my name is Caro. So today we will be doing a little bit of an experimental piece. Here you can see me try the first idea, and I also decided to try this new sticky note technique that I liked because I wasn't really sure about the legs, so I decided why not put on a sticky note, see if I like the shape. If not, I can just easily take it off, try another one, maybe I like it better or not. So it's just an option to keep or to switch out and see how that goes. It's also a fun way to see your process on the page. You can see your first steps and the last steps, so it's just a little cute thing I did today. Okay, so I finished the whole concept idea and I kind of really like it. I even wrote down like all the ideas that I could use for the leopard bug. Just some thoughts, and like one of the thoughts was actually that it should have more than 4 legs because bugs have more than 4 legs, and I thought that like it could be really useful for the whole concept design part. So all those thoughts I just wrote down, and this is where we got. So I really like how you can even see the process here and not just on the video while I'm drawing it. But basically I went over with these 2 pencils because I wanted to, not with any big ideas, because I wanted to draw something with pencils. So I decided that I could go with a lighter pink for just the initial thought idea part. I also started out with a sketch of a leopard and then started building onto it. So I also didn't want to really change the head of the leopard. It stayed pretty similar, just because, you know, bug heads are quite weird. So I don't know how you could make it cute but still bug-like. But if I would design more, we could probably dive into that a little bit deeper. But yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. So this day I decided to do another sketch, basically inspired from the first one, but with some minor adjustments because I saw a few issues that I was having. And even in this sketch you can see later once I start painting it. I don't really do some parts. Here I am looking at the sketch because I was thinking if I'm doing the legs correctly. Again, I did change them a little bit, but I still wanted the overall vibe I was going for in the original sketch. Okay, so it's day 2. I got my beverage and I am kind of ready to paint it. I haven't decided yet if I want to paint with gouache or acrylics. I'm thinking gouache since we're doing a new thing. Why not also get the new medium that I haven't touched in a while? Another thing is I scanned it because I was thinking, what if I mess up? Then I have something to go back to, so then I can just redo everything, because I also don't know what colors I want to do, if I should do like a bug green type or something darker. I don't know. So as you can see, there are 2 little bugs on the side of the pages, and originally I thought I'm gonna paint them first because then I could practice the colors, or I guess the overall bug theme we're going for. But I think I got too excited and just started immediately painting the leopard guy. I should have painted the bugs first, and you will see later why. But with how I usually start is put a base color, the same color for everything. I just like to do it so I just have something else instead of white, so it's not too daunting then. But yeah, I decided to start with the belly part because I knew how I was gonna do it. Well, I had a little bit of an idea for it. I wasn't sure if it's gonna work fully because I was still thinking if everything should be one color, but then I decided to do a little bit of a red-blue theme going on. So I decided that the belly part would have some red pinkish tones, and that's where I was going for. And I was just thinking that we will finish that and see what I could do with the other parts. So, as we all know, or if you've stuck around, you know that I just love painting in the moment and not really think of the ideas too much. I just dive in very quickly with what I'm doing. If I suddenly think, oh, I should draw a sandwich turtle, then I will just draw a sandwich turtle. But this time I decided to really take my time with it and just figure out the process, figure out best way to do this leopard bug, and that is why I did my first sketch, and I wasn't really thinking that it needs to be a finished piece as I usually do. That's why you saw me experimenting with the sticky notes, and just I had a lot of rendering done for that sketch. remember when I said I should have done the bugs first. This is kind of where things were not going that well. So I decided to completely scratch that and just restart it. This is why I wish I did the bugs first, because then I could have experimented a little bit more. But I guess I really got too excited to just start creating whatever this piece is, and I really like it. I liked where it was going from the start, although I had my doubts with if it would look a bit weird, because a leopard bug is quite a weird concept, but I really wanted to draw something involving bugs because I love the shiny shell part they have. So I wanted to create that, I wanted to paint that, but yeah, that's why I mentioned at the start of the video that today we are just putting an idea and the next day we will execute it better. Not gonna lie, the start process kind of reminded me of when I was in school, when we needed to do some concept art. But I'm not mad about it. It was quite relaxing to go about this whole piece differently. Here you can see that I decided not to have the weird flappy thing for the front leg. You can see it's not painted in. I just thought that it didn't really make sense. I didn't really have any purpose for it, and for this whole design I was really trying to put in the effort and think that if this was real, how it would function. So that is why I went through different phases for the first sketch, and I had legs that were very wonky and more bug-like, or legs that were more leopard-like, and I just was thinking of how they would move and trying to combine the leopardness and the bugness into this animal. So that is why I needed also functionality, and I wasn't really going for a full-on this is how it would work and this is how it would make sense, because in the end, does it make sense? Why is the tail the wings? And would it fly? I don't think so, but it doesn't matter too much. I just needed it to be somewhat believable and not too much technical. That I can do that later if needed, or if I ever worked in a company and they would ask me to do this, I could probably give it to another person and they would figure out how it would move better, or I could figure that out if I needed to. But this time I wasn't really going for the technical too much, even though I was still keeping that in my mind. That is why you can see here that the middle part is split. There are two parts instead of one that you could see in the first sketch, because I realized that jaguars are more flexible and bugs aren't really that flexible compared. So I needed the back to move a little bit more than then it would make sense with the first sketch, you know? It would be very static and it would be weird, and almost you would think that it could break if it's like bent. So I needed this bent point in the middle, so that is why we have a gap there. I've been wanting to try and switch things up, so another thing I'm doing in this video that you will see is that I decided to scan this version as well and finish it up digitally, because there were a few things I knew that I wanted to add, but it isn't really possible with traditional art. And you could make it, but I also didn't really want to ruin the piece because I liked where it was going, and so I decided that the best way would be to just do it digitally. So that's another thing I decided to try today. Okay, so this is how it turned out. I'm pretty happy with all the colors and how it turned out in general. I was a bit scared with the shine on this, but I think it looks pretty good. But yeah, now we will scan it and I will do it digitally. So yeah. I'm not gonna bore you too much with the digital process. Of course, if you would like to see more, you can always tell me if you want to see that. But yeah, I decided that I wanted to add a little bit more color into the shell parts because it is a bug and they usually have more than one color. So I added this purple tint almost, like where it was turning from this blue to green, and of course I added also a few other details that you can see here, just overall refining the whole art piece and adding some little details, some scratches, and I also changed the patterns to be more leopard-like instead of the big swooshes you saw. But yeah, here you will see the whole process from the sketch to the traditional to digital piece. I think it's fun to see. Let me know if you like this type of video. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you next time. Bye!
Everything is gonna be alright.